Good morning, good morning. Welcome, and I hope you're having a great day. It is very early for me. I'm on the West Coast, so it's 5:30, and I like to come on and try to do a little live stream before work. So this project I'm working on is called Sophie's Universe. Very colorful, multifaceted project. Many different stitches used, and the beauty of it is each creator can individualize their project. So what I mean by that is selecting your yarn colors and which sequence you're going to do them in. Now this Sophie's Universe is my first one, and I definitely have room for improvement. This one will probably just be for my family, and then I will create others, probably using the same kind of general color scheme, meaning bright, colorful, random, and then also interspersing some more calm colors like the gray and the white. It's nice to have a variety so that you can really have it to your individual taste. Now on this round, I'm actually going off pattern. I'm not following the pattern too much because I somehow ended up with way too many stitches. At what point, I do not know. I am following a book for the pattern, but I started with a video tutorial on YouTube, and between the video tutorial on YouTube and the directions that are also online with a crochet along format, it was confusing. But I think the main thing was that since it was my first time doing Sophie's Universe, I wasn't grasping the concept of how each round builds on the prior round. So for example, here you're making this arch, but then on the next round you're crocheting onto this arch. Then on the round after that you have a few rounds, but then you have this round that loops back and kind of holds the flower in place. So it's all like a growing pattern and builds on the prior round. So now that I understand that concept, I think I'll have greater success when I start the next one. I'm definitely not giving up because it is a beautiful pattern. So like I said, I have too many stitches, so I'm actually doing a decrease on this round rather than literally tearing out the whole blanket. And then another part of the project is you do a front post double or triple or double triple, so you have these extra connections to form more of the design as you go along and connecting to the prior rounds. I mean, it really gives a great effect. I love the really 3D and fun designs. It really makes the viewer, or whoever sees this, look at it and say, wow. It kind of pops. It's not just your regular old granny square blanket. So I finally did finish one of my larger projects. I was working on a kind of like a sampler stitch blanket. It is a lot of different stitches on just this lap afghan. And so I was learning new stitches, practicing my Tunisian crochet, just kind of doing a little bit of everything. So that was one of my bigger projects that I finally finished this weekend. That was nice. And so now I have time to just finish up some of the smaller projects and even some patterns that I was trying out for myself. Pardon me one moment. I'm just gonna mute for a minute. Yeah, so now I'm just working on this Sophie's Universe. And Sophie's Universe has, I believe, 113 rounds. And each creator can stop at whichever point they prefer. I'm trying to really do all of the rounds. But I think at one point when it gets squared off, I will probably just try to go freestyle. Let me see. So I have the book here, and I am on round 55. I believe it's 55. 54 maybe. 54. And then and the reason why I'm not 100% sure, I pulled some of it out and had to redo it. Maybe 53. So what's crazy is I had counted my stitch count totals. Hey, good morning. And it was way off, so that's why I'm doing the decrease. So on the long side, it was supposed to be 78 stitches. I had 100 and something. Like, how does that even happen? So frustrating. So now I'm just trying to get these more closer to 78. But the thing is that the long side stitch count gets smaller as you get closer to the end of the project. The short side stitch count gets smaller because it's kind of squaring up. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go forward in the book a little bit and look and see. And that was one concept I wasn't really grasping as I was starting the project. I was thinking that once you get the round squared up, then you're just going in a square, but that wasn't the case. So let me show you what I mean. Thank you, Saka. How are you doing this morning? You got a lot of projects on your list? Oh, are you going to work on that shirt? I think that fabric is like a chambray, isn't it? Like a lightweight denim. Okay, so as you can see right here, the corner is squared, and it gets that way from round. So you have it round, then it squares off, and then as you start making the other rounds farther along, oh, okay, not for the shirt, okay. As you start making more rounds, then it kind of makes this short side. So you have this short side between these two stitch markers, and then you have the long side. So there's 4 short sides and 4 long sides. So I don't know, I feel like maybe I would have done better if I just squared it up through the whole thing, but oh yeah, I'll clock in probably at 7 today. I have a little flexibility for when I'm gonna clock in. So right now it's what time? 5:45. So I've just planned to come on for an hour so I can get some more content on here. I haven't streamed very consistently on here, so I want to get some content, and then I need to go back to my older videos and put some on YouTube now that we're past the 24-hour mark. I've been so distracted, unorganized, so that's not good. Not good for forward momentum, but I did queue up some more new projects, so that's good. And then I wanted to work on my embroidery machine this weekend, but I didn't do that, so kind of bummed at myself for that. So I'm having to do a decrease because my long sides are way too long. I don't even know what happened. I think the combination of following the YouTube video and following the online instructions, they do have a variance, which I didn't really realize until I was reading the comments on the YouTube video saying how there were mistakes. So then also I got frustrated with the pop-ups in the online instructions. I think because I was trying to follow on my phone and it's a small area, so then as I'm scrolling there's more stuff popping up. But the next Sophies that I start, I'll have the book. I have the book, so hopefully I can do better, because it's hard for me to pinpoint if it was me or the tutorial or the online instructions, you know. I think I was trying to follow too many different sources at once. I mean, obviously there's something wrong if I have way too many stitches on my sides. The weird thing is, though, the short sides had the exact correct amount, so I don't know how that happened. I mean, it's kind of good, the book, and I think online too tells you at the end of each round what your stitch count should be. And again, I was confused about long side, short side. So now that I understand that the corner is considered the short side, I can probably do a better job. So I did also find some awesome colors to use on my next hexagon cardigan. I did start one using a color called Toffee Brickle. It's a Caron cake yarn, but I don't have enough of that one to make the cardigan. So I found another color, Red Heart, and then a deep blue to go with it. So let me pull that up and show you. I don't remember the color. It is called Garden Grows. So I have this and a really deep blue. Oops, sorry. The deep blue is, this is Caron, as you can see, and the deep blue that I'm using is called Royal. So I don't know if the color comes across really good, but I'll use those two colors together to do the hexagon cardigan. I might be able to incorporate some of the Toffee Brickle. I have it rolled in a ball now, but I started this one with the black. I might be able to incorporate some black as well, but this has many different colors in it, so we'll see. We shall see. Meanwhile, trying to fix this Sophie's Universe. So far, my Monday is going well. Hopefully, you guys are having a great day too. Still got a lot of yard work to do. It had started raining again, so I had to kind of put that on hold again. And then the weeds grow taller, but I need to get rid of the weeds because they have stickers, and then the dogs get the stickers in their fur. So oh yeah, Sokka. So you didn't have a consistent size of a 3-weight or a 4-weight? Are you working with scraps? I do that sometimes because I end up with so many scraps, but then I'll start a project and I realize, oh, these don't really go well together. Even on a 4-weight of Craft Smart, that yarn is so dense, which I really like, but it's not really a traditional 4-weight, so it's a little difficult to pair it with other 4-weights, if that makes any sense. So this morning I also was reading my book. Oh, cotton thread. Oh, yeah. 10. Oh, wow. That's huge. You know what? Even at some point, I was like so crazy. I really wanted to use this one yarn. I was gonna split it, like take the strands apart. And when I started doing it, I thought, you are crazy because it twists and curls and it's impossible. You can't split the yarn, maybe in small batches. Oh, you can. You know how you could do it, and maybe this is what she told you. Like make the arms one piece. Yeah, that would be a project. Make the arms one size of yarn, one weight of yarn, the arms and legs, and then the body another size. I think then you just adjust your hook size. I mean, it's hard to explain. But then again, you're talking to somebody that totally did not do great with this Sophie's. It looks good, but any person that has done Sophie would probably notice mistakes somebody that is a more professional crochet artist would probably be able to point out mistakes all over the place that I don't even know about. Oh, so this morning I was reading my book. I almost didn't stream because I wanted to read my book. This book is written by my team lead that I'm working for right now. She wrote it in 2014. It's available on Amazon. It's a light read, but woo, steamy. It's really good. It's quick read, and I'm getting to the point where it's kind of like the big reveal. So it's a good book. I can't wait. Yeah, so I'm going to be trying to get my stuff together with job search and all that fun stuff, but we don't want to talk about reality on this. We just want to keep it light. I'm always curious what other types of jobs people have that are work from home, if you guys have a work from home job and you don't mind sharing, you could direct message me. I'm trying to explore different careers as well. Freelance or temp to perm or whatever. Just trying to figure out what to do. So this Sophie's Universe, I think I made it much more complicated than it needed to be. I'm sure that my next attempt is going to be much more successful. Okay, so now I'm coming up on the end of this round actually. So I'll go ahead and count this stitch count on this long side. Oh wow, that the funny guy. That is funny. You never know. I mean, so the thing is that you want engagement, but you don't want somebody that's going to be kind of unprofessional. I like to try to keep it fun but professional because I'm trying to also promote my business, and I don't want people that will be like off-putting to others. Oh, that's right. You said medical billing. I remember you telling me about that. I should look into that because, I mean, just, having different options. I'm going to write that down. Not that I think it's easy, because I know the medical coding can be complex. So was that guy offensive at all, or was he just kind of messing around? And I need to figure out, oh, I think I can do it from my desktop. On the profile it has where you can set people as moderators. I don't have enough consistent viewers to come in and be a mod, if that makes sense. So I wouldn't know who to appoint as a mod. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Here's another thing. Sometimes people are like, I am a married woman, or I'm involved with somebody. I don't need people coming and hitting on me. Well, it's not like they're at your front door. As long as they're just messing around, not being rude, it's all in good fun, right? I mean, you just learn how to handle it and then let it go. Okay, let's count. 78. Okay, let me check my notes here. I have a little notepad on my phone. So listen to the variance here. And this is why people need to not follow me 100%. One of my long sides is 97 stitches. One is 88, one is 80, and this last one is 78. So what the heck? So some point today, I'm going to take it and lay it out flat on my bed or something to just look at how it looks, because the sides here are the correct count. Then the long side is not the correct count. And the differentiation right now is I can tell because this doesn't have any popcorns, and this one does have the popcorns where the tulips are, or the little flowers. So I have a big wad of yarn where I pulled out my stitches, but what I'm going to do is set this aside. And then hopefully this is helpful for you too, because I think when I first started, I wasn't really, I mean, I don't know where it went wrong, actually. But at the beginning of each part, so like let's say part 8, it shows you what you're going to be working on. And then, let's see, and you can see how it shows. Mine looks nothing like this. I mean, I don't want to just give up, but I feel like it might be better if I just kind of, because I think it's at about 40 inches right now, kind of do like a finishing round, maybe a couple with the same color, and then just call it finished and start over. Because, so let me show you why this also was confusing. Here it shows stitch count, total 404 stitches, but then it breaks it down. 8 chain 3 spaces, 28 chain 4 spaces, 8 chain 1 corners, blah, 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 blah. But then it also tells you on each short side, there's 51 stitches, and then the breakdown. And then each long side, 50 stitches, and then the breakdown. In the beginning, that totally confused me. So I think now if I just finish out, and actually let me show you, finish out this one. So here's another concept I wasn't getting. See how this is square? And then this would be the short side, and this would be the long side. Well, as you're going, the short side is getting wider, the long side is getting more narrow, and then it squares off again. So my guess is that I'm about right here. So I'm thinking I'm just going to finish it out and call it done. I don't know. It's confusing. But another fun thing is you can use the different stitches and techniques you learn here to apply to other projects. So like when you're doing your popcorn stitch or your puff stitch, or doing even these like V's that connect. Sorry, I'm just analyzing this. Yeah. Mine doesn't look anything like that. I'll show you mine again. And I'm not trying to be hard on myself. I'm just saying like what my result has been. And it's definitely awesome the way it's coming out so far, but it's not a true Sophie's. So even here on this corner, so this is the short side, And you can see that right here because it has the little petal. So this is the short side. And then you can see how there's a V here that goes throughout. Well, I messed up and forgot that on some of these. So that's what I'm saying. That I'll just leave it non-square, finish it up. So if we look at this stem and these leaves, it's leading up to where it's going to have another flower. So I think I'm right at this point right here. This doesn't even look like... Yeah. Oh, I have a bunch of projects. So right now, I have Sophie's Universe, which I'm going to say that's done. But then I also have a market bag I'm working on. I'm going to be starting a cardigan. And then I have a couple smaller projects that I just was testing out. One is a coffee cozy, so that's not really, I'm not counting it as a project really because it's just one coffee cozy. But usually I'll have 3 or 4. Some are small, some are large. But right now I have Sophie's, which I'm going to finish out. I have this, this market bag. And I have a cardigan, but the cardigan I was showing, I started with black, and I really love the colors of this. It was a cake called, it was a Karen cake, toffee brickle, but I don't have enough of this to do a cardigan. So I'm going to start my cardigan using this Karen jumbo, and it's called Garden Grows. And then I'm going to incorporate Royal, which is a deep blue red heart. And I think I will incorporate the toffee brickle, but you can see it has some other colors that might not 100% match. And I usually have a few projects going because I get bored, or I see a pattern I want to try and then I queue it up just to try it out. I do have some other patterns that I purchased that I want to get better at making. One of them is a really cute headband by Meg's Makes. I don't know if you're familiar with her. It's a boho headband, but I was not following the instructions closely enough, and my ends, I'm not great at the ends, so the headband calls for it to be straight, but then at the ends triangle in order to attach the tie, so then when you tie it around your head. But now I have a bunch of different cotton yarn. It calls for cotton. I think it calls for cotton. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. But I have cotton and acrylic, so I can easily just see like which yarn I would like to use to try to do a better job at that, because what I don't like is to make a pattern and then misrepresent it. So if I'm making the headband but it doesn't turn out very well, I don't want people to think it's because of the pattern, because usually it's because of me. So I like to make it and then also promote it. Okay, so this is the market bag, and this is just a basic granny square market bag. So I can actually work on that a little bit, and then I'm probably gonna get off the stream. I do have a few things that I need to do before I clock in. Now this one I've been putting a chain between, but I think what I'm going to do on the next round is not do a chain between. It feels like it's a little bit loose, even though it is a cotton yarn. And I want to go fire up my embroidery machine because I keep procrastinating. I want to make some of these signs, and I have different ideas on how I want to do that. So I need to work on the design, and then I can easily run my embroidery machine while I'm working on my lunch and my break. I just have a single needle, so it is a little bit more labor intensive if I'm using different color threads. This project, no, right now I'm not crocheting for a market. Last year I think I did 4 or 5 markets. Yeah, I've done hand embroidery, hand cross stitch, knitting, crochet. I even did this really cool project once. It was my own idea. I had like a kind of a woven fabric that I just used embroidery floss to weave in and out, and it made like a square rainbow. I don't even know what happened to the project. It's one of those things that you make. I was like a teenager. I made it and had it hanging in my mom's back room, and other people kind of look at it like, oh, well, what's the purpose of that? You know what I mean? Like, you kind of get that, I don't know, like, there is no purpose. It's just pretty. You know what I mean? So then it's kind of discouraging, but I'd like to try that again. I can't remember what type of medium I used. Yeah, right? It's like, I don't know. I feel like I could open a gallery if I could execute all my ideas. So what I'm trying to do, and I need to get myself more organized, is have more traffic to my website. But I need to be more consistent and maybe start doing a product drop. So Saka, if you have an embroidery hoop, this one I had just in my stash. What I'm thinking, oh good, nice. I mean, who cares about the clothes that don't fit? But you could repurpose the fabric. Do you sew? You could quilt it, or, you know, because I've done that before. I'll cut garments apart and use it in my embroidery, like for applique. But anyway, so I'm going to be making some of these. Some of them I'm going to finish them off like a square so that it's just like a little square that's double-sided. Not double-sided, but it won't have the raw edge showing. But then I'm also going to have some that I just make this one of your weaker skills. Well, just practice it. You'll get better. And then I can offer these so that if people have an embroidery hoop, they can put it in themselves. This one is made on felt, which is nice because the color pops. But like this type of design is easier on the embroidery machine because it's only one color and it's one font. And so I'm going to probably work on that design. This one I made specifically for myself. I knew which hoop I was going to put it into, but I might make it smaller and then make like a, you know, like a little finished square, or not circle, because circles are like, they're not hard to sew, but they're not as fast. And then some I might just do as a kind of a raw edge with a serger on the side. When my husband's mother passed away, he and his brother agreed and said that his mom would probably want me to have her sewing machine and her serger machine. They aren't fancy, they aren't high end, but I definitely was grateful to receive those. 2 more things to add to my collection. I even watched excuse me, watched a YouTube video to fix the alignment on the sewing machine. The needle and the feet were kind of out of alignment, so the needle would strike, it would, I want to call it a flywheel, but you know that thing that spins around on the bottom of the sewing machine and it grabs the thread so that it can make the stitch, I don't know what that thing is called, but that was out of alignment for the needle. So that would come by to pick up the thread when the needle was up. So I needed to realign that so that it would go by when the needle was down. So that's what I mean by the alignment. So this is going to be a crocheted market bag. These are really cool because it's just a granny square. And then when I go to do the handles, that is when I do the decrease. So then it makes it like a gathered edge on the front and back and the 2 sides. It's like a bobbin, but it's the, there's a hook. So the bobbin sits down inside this thing, and then there's like a hook that goes around and picks up the, okay, cool. You have a great day, and I'm probably going to be signing off as well. But yeah, it's a hook that picks up the thread off of the needle. Hopefully your internet stays up for you and you have a nice productive work day. All the best to you. Happy Monday. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. You too. Have a wonderful day. I'm probably going to be signing off pretty soon too. Get some other stuff done. Yeah, see you later. So for all of you people who are still here, I'm working on this crochet market bag. It's just a granny square, and it's great for fruits and vegetables when you're at the farmer's market. It's all cotton. Actually, this one might have some acrylic because I did use another color of yarn, but it's still machine washable. So if you go to the farmer's market and you have some fruits and vegetables that aren't 100% dirt free, no worries, you can just wash this in the washing machine. And this is just a giant granny square. And then as I go along, I will do a decrease for the handle. And so the 4 sides will become more gathered with the decrease. So then that will help the bag form into the shape of a bag rather than just a giant square. I'm thinking I should have probably done a 2 chain on the corner, but I know how to make the bags. I'm just not following a pattern right now. The nice thing about these bags, they are airy. They do have holes in them, but that's convenient. For the fruits and vegetables, it allows them to breathe while you're shopping. And then also the bag kind of conforms to whatever is in the bag. You're not going to use it to carry small items because it doesn't have a liner. So see, that's just a giant granny square. And then I can make it as big or as small as I like. I just keep going around and around for a bigger granny square and a bigger bag, or I could even use a smaller weight yarn and a smaller hook and make it more like a tiny little purse. So this pattern is nice and flexible. And I think that is going to be it for this morning. I want to try to download some of my older videos and add them to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much, you guys, for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. And you guys have a great day. Enjoy your Monday.